When Kronos became king, a prophecy was made that he would be overthrown by his own son. This prophecy was fulfilled by his youngest, Zeus. After a war lasting 10 years, the Titans were banished to the depths of Tartarus, and Zeus sat on the throne of Olympus, his brothers and sisters by his side. The gods revelled in their new kingdom, ruling over the mortals that lived in Elysium, a kingdom named so as to be a paradise for all those who lived there. And for a time, all was well. But gods are prideful beings, and soon began to bicker and argue amongst themselves, turning a blind eye to the realm of mortals. Zeus saw this, and saw how the mortals had also begun to fight one another in the absence of the gods' presence. A mighty thunderstorm swelled around Olympus as Zeus made a decree. The gods would no longer remain idle, but instead be sent unto Elysium, where they would be given a city to rule as they saw fit. Only Zeus would remain on Olympus, to ensure that his laws were upheld. Unhappy with this order, but unwilling to incur their father's wrath and risk being felled by his thunderbolts, the gods made their way down to Elysium to live among the mortals. Each god moulded his or her city into their own image, whether that be the beautiful marble temples of Aphrodite or the towering spires of the arcane Hecate. The mortals rejoiced to be in the presence of the Olympians, and peace was restored again. No longer able to interfere with each other as before, the gods now use mortal champions to do their bidding. Through time, mortals have dedicated their lives into performing great deeds to gain the gods' favour, become their champion, and enter their names into legend. But peace can never last forever, and dire plots are brewing in Elysium. The war god Athena, as wise as she is beautiful, has gone missing. As tensions rise amongst the Olympians, other forces work quietly, and whispers are spreading that the reign of Olympus is coming to an end.
Hello, and welcome back, everybody, to episode 12 of Reign of Olympus. First things first, apologies for no match of the deity yesterday, but quite a few of the gods and myself had been off being nerds in a different universe and were a bit tired. So it will be back. It's not lost. It's more of a just as and when sort of thing. So we will get back on that. Second, we should have a slightly better setup now. Thanks to Ichthus, the GM, who is doing our Swords That Bind campaign. I have a much better streaming computer, so quality should just improve as we go along. So thank you so much, Ichthus, for that. On that, lots of stuff in the work already, but because of better machine, more time, and all sorts of other things, in the near future, we're going to be releasing hopefully a few more games. We have a couple of different systems that are kind of in the running for pre-recorded games that will then air on Twitch and YouTube. But if any of you guys have any games that you want to see, or any games that you would like to possibly run, it doesn't have to be D&D, because we've already got 2 of those already. But if there's anything that you guys want to see, comment or put on our social media what kind of stuff you'd like to see, even if it's just like a one-shot that you'd like to see happen on the channel. Whether it's some sort of RPG, whether you'd like to see some different kind of RPG gaming on there, just let us know. Or, like I say, if there's a certain game that you wouldn't mind running yourselves, then, yeah, let us know. Savage Worlds, Deadlands could be a thing. Yeah, let us know, and we'll talk. Let us know on social media, and then I'll give you an email, and we'll talk about what kind of thing it'd be and how that'd work. So, yeah, channel, lots of exciting things happening on the channel soon. I don't believe we have any other news, if I remember rightly, unless anybody's got anything else they want to add.
Nope. Weasels.
Weasels. Don't forget weasels. I don't know what he's on about either. But yeah, without further ado, we will go to the ident, and then we'll do a quick recap and get on with the game. Okay. Okay, and we're back very quickly. So yeah, last time things and stuff happened. Who wants to kick us off with a quick recap? Besides Dan, who was runtless last time.
No, I want to hear Dan say what happened last time.
Yeah, Dan, what happened last time?
Right, well, obviously Runt did some awesome stuff, and I assume the rest of you were there, but I don't have a clue what you did.
Bless.
I think somebody got an STD from a wolf.
I mean, you're not too wrong, to be fair. Someone kind of got sort of an STD from a wolf, so...
Wasn't me.
Well, you almost did, but we won't talk about that.
No, she almost died. That's different.
I was almost lunch.
Yeah, okay. Well, to catch you guys up, we finally had our party leave Sparta. Yeah, they decided to leave Sparta. Oh, thank you for subscribing. For some reason, I'm behind you there. 1 sec, let me see if I can sort my widgets.
Hey,
Please excuse our technical difficulties. Yeah, the party finally left Sparta. They wrapped things up. Gabriel finally met with his allies again, and they kind of discussed what they would be doing next, whether they'd go with him or not. He decided to stay with our party, which is nice because it means that, you know, I don't have to either let Ken go or do like 2 different campaigns, which wouldn't be fun.
My first one, actually.
You then, I believe, discussed your options and decided that you wanted to make your way to, was it Attica or
Laguna?
Lagina.
I should know this. I made the world. Make your way to Lagina to see what was happening with the undead. But along the way, you also wanted to kind of investigate what had happened with the bandits that had been kind of plaguing the outskirts and had also mugged your party on the way, I believe, which wasn't fun. So
bad bandits.
They mugged the caravan, yeah.
They mugged the caravan. You weren't quite sure what had happened there, but you know that they'd been mugged by something, and you knew they were kind of up north, so you decided to head that way to find out what had happened. Along the way, you met
goblins.
Some groupies.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you met some goblins along the road that Kaya managed to talk into being groupies for Runt after she Runt got some groupies once they found out about his escapades in the fighting arena, to the point of singing songs and making little statues. Was it Runt that ended up with the statue, or was it someone else that ended up with the little...
I ended up with the little statue because he sort of pulled a face going, yes, that's very nice, in a very Runt way, and really wasn't impressed.
That was it. Yeah, it was kind of more of a caricature moose than a minotaur, but, you know, they did the best they could. You then managed to somehow, or I don't know whose fault it was, miss some sort of creatures passing through your camp one of the nights. The next morning, because curiosity sort of got the better of you, you decided to make a quick detour to try and track this thing down, see, maybe where they came from, or if they wanted anything, if they were dangerous. Tracked them for a while, couldn't quite see what they were, but you decided not to go any closer to investigate, which is fair enough, because it may have eaten you. Continued on, got to kind of a forest, kind of wooded area before the main forest above, to the north, just below Nidas, and were accosted by some wolves. Ooh.
Very smelly wolves.
Very smelly wolves. There was something not quite right about them, but you couldn't quite figure out what. And that was when you got the STD, basically. Gabriel checked, couldn't sense any undead. I believe Mercy might have also tried to check to see if they were undead. Couldn't really get a bead on them with that. But there was definitely not something right about them. After fighting them, some of the players ended up paralyzed after being bitten by them. And then if one of the players, i.e. Mercy, was bitten again, and her extremities...
Actually, no. While I was paralyzed, so somebody killed a thing and it spurted.
Oh, yeah, that was it. You got baffed at.
Yes, I swallowed.
Doesn't sound any better.
It's not 9 o'clock yet. Yeah, and your extremities slowly started to turn to stone. You managed to you were kind of fighting that here and there for the rest of it. It didn't seem to be getting worse, but it didn't seem to be getting better. And you managed to, after Kaya almost dying, she was down to her last death saving throw, and she just managed it before she was picked up by our cleric. You managed to kill the wolves, and that's where we left off. So yeah, I will put us on, although the wolves aren't on there, I will put us to the battle screen just so you guys can see. So yeah, you managed to defeat the wolves. Mercy is still a little bit stoned. And you have the clearing here, seemingly to yourselves, and some dead, weird wolves before you, some bodies. What would you like to do?
If someone wants to investigate where they emerged from, I will examine one of the less squish ones.
I'll have a look and see where they came from.
Okay. From what you can tell, they kind of came from this area here. So if you want to... What are you looking? Are you just looking at the general area? Are you looking to see what path they came through? Are you looking to see if there was any hidden... What is it you're looking for?
I'm looking to see if there's anything that they effectively came out of, or like the way that they... Like the direction they came from. Sort of if there was anything around there that eventually they came out of.
So in that case, make an investigation check for me. Mercy, you say you're investigating one of the bodies.
I would like to, in a medical capacity, if that's okay.
Then that'd be a medicine check.
Yes, please.
Put back on the main screen. That's more as a recap.
14.
14, okay.
22.
Wow, okay. Kaya, you look around and you can see tracks and things, but it's not really your forte, but you can see tracks. It doesn't look like they came out of anywhere hidden. You can see like broken twigs and things along a pathway. It just looks like they came from somewhere in the forest. It doesn't look like they came straight out of a den or anything like that. They like traveled to here from wherever they were before that.
Right.
Okay, Mercy, on a 22 medicine check, you look at them, and from what you can tell, they were, there's no decomposition. They definitely weren't undead. They were living animals. And for the most part, all of the anatomy seems to be the same. What you can tell on such a high roll is whatever, like, venom or whatever, like, ichor was, like, splatting if they were, like, killed or biting, seems to have been, like, slowly burning through their own bodies. So it seems both their blood and their saliva, from looking, has this kind of same viscous feel to it. It has that acrid, acidic smell that you could smell coming in. It seems to be coming from the blood and saliva. And whilst they seem to have utilised it, it does seem to be, like, you can tell which ones were like that first, because some are a lot more burnt away than others. It's not rot, it's literal, like, it's been seared away from the inside out.
Like being melted, like...
Yeah, like whatever it is that that venom is also affecting them.
Sure. Is there any way I can tell with that roll in which organs or it may have started, or any kind of what they may have ingested or come across? Is there any sort of indications?
You can't see of anything they've ingested. It does seem to be, like I say, on all you can tell is the blood and the saliva both have those properties.
Right. Okay.
So we're fighting xenomorphs. Cool.
Well, there's something very, very wrong in the forest. I imagine this isn't going to be the only creature that's got this kind of a disease. If it can transfer into Mercy, it can probably transfer into other creatures.
it's highly likely that whatever's inflicted them is possibly corrupting what parts of this forest, and is maybe magical in nature or some other influence.
While I have no love for bandits, if there are any in here, it's entirely possible that they might have actually ended up taking various items to deal with creatures such as these, so that they actually have a chance of surviving.
Or do we actually credit them with that kind of ingenuity then?
If you want to survive, would you sort of like want the best things that you could possibly get? We know that they're somewhere around here, but
it's all theoretical till we find them, though. I mean, equally, they could be afflicted by this and they could all already be dead. But,
also true.
I mean, I think our best bet is to start looking rather than try to think of every possible outcome.
Well, needless to say, these things didn't come from a den. They came from somewhere in there, but I can't work out where.
Okay. How far into this, like, forested area are we?
You're not far. You're only about, like, maybe a couple of hours travel into there. It's not a big area. So you're not into the main forest yet. You're kind of on the outskirts because you're on the other side of the river. And this kind of... if you want, make either a survival or a nature check for me.
Yeah. That's 8.
8. Okay, yeah, you can't tell where, like, you know which direction you went, but you can't tell. You think you're getting closer to the river, so you don't know if this is like, there might be a crossing elsewhere that wasn't on the map or not, but you can't really tell how close you are yet, so.
Okay. Mercy, are you in much of a state to move, or do we need to attend to you before we move out of here?
We can move, but just bear in mind I may be a tad slow, but don't worry about me. I will let you know if I'm ready. Well, no, I probably wouldn't tell you anyway, but we'll carry on. It's fine.
We'll keep an eye on you as you're walking so you don't disappear from us. I think we're probably best just moving out of here as quick as we can, try and get past this, unless it's so widespread that we're just going to end up deeper into it.
Yeah. As you were. I was checking the stream health.
So shall we just try and get out of this area and get to the bridge? There's a small chance that whatever's on this area might not actually have crossed over the river yet.
Well, let's just carry on down with, let's at least keep making headway to where we're supposed to be going, and then just hope that we don't cross the path of anything else. But, we'll have to deal with it if we face it.
Right. Yes. Before we go, can I just try and extract Waddle Fang? Because I did it with the undead spider thing, didn't I? Might as well start a collection.
Yeah, it depends. Are you looking to get a whole thing with the venom on it, or did you just want a keepsake?
I just want a keepsake. I'll wrap my hand in some cloth and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in that case, just make a strength check.
That is a 22.
Yeah, you rip that thing out there. You almost take the top jaw off with how hard you pull. And you snap away. It's a lot more than tooth. There's also a bit of bone there from the jaw. But yeah, you managed to get a whole tooth. No problem at all. Like I say, the bones seem to be a bit more brittle than you'd expect. Is it maybe the venom, the ick, or whatever it is, had somehow managed to get there as well?
Cool. That's Spartan dentistry.
Mm-hmm.
Are you adamant about bringing that with us?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get going. If you catch a disease, it's your own fault.
Okay. So yeah, you guys heading back out. Are you just going to follow actually, there's a crossroad, isn't there? So, which fine for you. Which direction are you going?
We're going to go in the correct direction.
Okay, well, in that case, actually, you have no idea where you are, sadly, because you just made a terrible
absolutely none.
If one more person, if you are proficient in nature or survival, wants to make a check, then you can.
Cool.
Nope, I can't.
I'm proficient in survival.
Whoever is proficient, I will guidance them.
Okay, so that's a D4 extra, is it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so make a survival check, Runt, and add a D4 to it.
So that's going to be a 19.
19. Brill. Okay, from what you can tell, from which direction you came in, if you want to head to the bridge, or where you think the bridge is, taking the path down from you, because you kind of came in from the east, so imagine the map's flipped a little bit.
Right.
I'm not going to do the flipping, but imagine it's flipped.
Yeah.
So if you want to take this path here, like this one, that would take you towards the bridge as far as you can tell. But if you went this way, like I say, going this way, you can sort of kind of hear the river from this direction. So it depends if you want to risk a shortcut or just go the main way.
Right, well, what do you guys will do? Because the bridge is that way, and the river's that way, because obviously it's going like that. But, I mean, do you want to go shortcut, or do you want to go bridge?
Nothing bad ever happened from a shortcut. Let's go the short way.
Pretty sure it's also fairly similar to the direction the wolves came from, so 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
Don't say stone, Jesus.
Oh, too soon.
Oh dear. Right. Which way are we going then, guys? Shortcut?
Shortcut.
Shortcut.
Okay.
Whatever.
I mean, we might as well make some kind of choice. We're kind of between a rock and a hard place at the minute.
Oh.
Oh, I really slate these jokes.
I'm casually making note of the who to heal never.
All right, I don't think Mercy Granite take it anymore.
Oh, that one was a stretch.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaving you to die.
Yeah,
It's sedimentary, dear Watson.
On that note, before rocks fall, everyone dies.
TPK.
That was a pun and a threat. Let's move on. So are you going shortcut route, or safe route?
Shortcuts.
Okay, no one's shouting up. Mercy's just having a migraine. So yeah, you head that way. It doesn't take you too much longer, to be fair. Like, Mercy isn't slowing you down. Like, she's not fully made of stone or anything. It just seems to be, well, from what you can see, it's just like her fingers are kind of graying and the top tips of her fingers seem to be stone. Mercy, you can feel that it's also kind of happened to your toes as well. But I assume, are you wearing sandals or boots or something like that?
Boots.
Boots, yeah. Fuck that Greek aesthetic, I'm goth AF. So yeah, Mercy's in big-ass boots, so you can't... But yeah, you can tell your toes are kind of doing the same thing. So it doesn't hinder you in any way. You trip every now and again.
But I am slowed.
You are slowed in combat.
Well, before you said 5 feet, I assumed it was a...
No, that's just in combat, because in a combat situation, you're more sprinting than unless you guys are sprinting the whole way, in which case I'm going to need Constitution saves. But no, that's just in combat where you're thinking less about where you're moving, so it slows you down, so you don't trip and fall, basically.
That's fair.
Yeah,
enough.
you kind of stub your toe and trip on the occasional root because you can't feel the ground you're walking on as much as you normally can, but it doesn't really slow you down.
No problem.
Yeah, you're traveling for about an hour, and after about 45 minutes, you can all kind of feel, like, all of you, even Gavriel on his terrible roll, can hear the sound of, like, running water. And after about an hour, you get to the bank of the river. What you see before you look, and it's quite a wide river. I'd say I'm terrible at distances. But yeah, at this point, it's not as wide as it is on the bigger trade routes, but it is still a good, 100 feet across. But it doesn't seem to be it's not a raging river or anything like that. It's it's not close enough to the shore, and it's not high enough in the mountains to be running that fast. And there hasn't been, because of Elysium climate, there's no, unless Zeus is in a mood, there haven't been any storms to kind of churn it up. So You could try to like swim across or wade across. You're not sure.
Let's get in there.
Well, yeah, you're a fucking fish. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just hop straight in.
Gonna have a little look around in the water though, make sure there's nothing.
You can. It depends. Are you looking before you get in the water, or are you gonna dive under and then take a look?
Oh no, I'm getting in the water, but I'm looking around under the water.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm lying a lot. 9.
9. That's good, because I forgot to Google what types of fish in aquatic life might be in an Elysium in a ancient Greek world. But on a 9, that's fine. I don't have to do that. You can't see anything. It seems like one thing about Elysium waters, which is quite famous across like the world proper, is they're quite clear, and you can't really see anything. There's nothing that seems to be disturbing the water. There's occasional like minnows or small fish and things, but you can't see anything that might be like dangerous from what you can tell.
Let's poke my head up. Looks clear.
How deep is it?
Go and stand in the deepest part. See how deep it is from there.
Well, the deepest part will be in the middle, so about 50 feet away. But even then, you do have to swim, but it's only about 15, 20 feet deep.
Okay.
Yeah, all the nearby vegetation is kind of soaks up a lot of it, and it's not that big a dip in the bank. It keeps it quite shallow and calm because of where it is.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You'll have to swim. It's not a wade.
Yeah, probably not a good thing for me.
Swimming.
Right. Can I like survival tow Mercy?
Like literally, like what? Drag her along, or?
Yeah, so I have a place on the back and I swim along with her.
You can certainly try.
I'd rather find a shallow bit and just.
The big river, we might not find a shallow bit.
Oh well.
If you want, I can carry you over. I'll probably be able to keep you.
No, I'd rather drown.
Rude.
I mean, he is a fish, but that's up to you guys.
Yeah. I'm considerably bigger than you, dear, so I wouldn't want to. No.
What's your
Kind of good at swimming.
Okay, so what's your 2 strength?
Well, mine or
No, Gavriel and Mercy.
So I'm strength 16.
Yeah, mine's 9.
Yeah, so although like you're taller, you are more slender, whereas Gavriel, although he's
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just
bulky AF, to be fair. Especially when you think about like an actual commoner has strength of around 8, if they're like maybe 10 if they work in a forge or a pit or something. So he's still on like edging on super Triton level strength. Just
yeah, but he's not a 17, is he?
if anybody, don't suppose anyone's got any rope.
Kinky.
Yes.
Well,
Do you want to do a rope walk over?
I was going to suggest maybe attaching the rope to Runt, and then I can sort of like attempt to swim, and in case this weird stone form tries to drag me down, at least he has a chance of keeping me buoyant.
Okay.
All right.
I really think I'm more useful than Runt in this particular situation, but we could both try and make sure that if you're tied to us, we make sure you stay across.
Right. I tow you guys. How about that? Make sure she doesn't sink.
Yeah, sure. So I have a length of rope.
okay. So yeah, are you just tying that onto Mercy? Kaya, are you just kind of finding all of this amusing and waiting to go across? Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so do you want to be tied physically right to someone so you can't move, or do you just want something tied around your waist?
Yes, that one.
Tied around your waist. Okay. Well, do you want to tie the knot so you're happy with it and make sure it's comfortable?
I'll try.
Would you like me to tie, dear? I'm not too bad with knots.
Yes, I can imagine you are pretty well versed. No, I'm not. Yes, by all means, help yourself.
Okay. I'm going to go and sort of like tie a relatively tight, but not overly tight. One that's sort of like easy enough to.
Yeah, it's no problem. I'm not going to make you roll a check for not tying. It's not the fucking scout. And with your experiences, you're probably okay with a tight but comfortable knot is probably your expertise in this. So yeah. What order are you? So, shall we have a marching order?
Swimming order.
So yeah, what order are we going in?
I'll stay in the middle-ish and try and keep an eye out for people who can't swim very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go first.
So we got Runt first. I'm guessing then followed by Mercy because of
the rope.
So we got Runt, Mercy, Gabriel, and then Kaya up the rear, as it were. Fair. Okay. Can all of you? At this point, it's not a save. Just make call it a general strength check. Gabriel, you don't have to make any at this point.
That'll be a 16.
Okay.
Even with the -1, it's 17.
Okay.
3.
Okay. Don't worry. So you all make your way across pretty easily. For the first leg of this, most of it is just wading across. You don't even have to swim. Kaya, you're doing fine, but you're dragging behind. On the 3, you're really struggling to keep up with everyone else. I'm guessing, probably the shortest in the group. And so it's kind of where everyone else it might be up to just below the sternum. For you, it's closer to your shoulder, so you're having a harder time with it.
Chances are I'm also trying to keep my musical instrument above the water as well.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're having a slightly harder time with it. Can you? Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Well, can I see Kaya struggling?
Probably not. No, because you're way up in the front.
All right.
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is using D&D Beyond on my phone is an interesting experience.
But D&D Beyond is both innovative and useful. We're not sponsored. Why do I care? Sponsor us, and then I'll compliment you. It is quite good, though.
It really is. Assuming I can find the passive perception.
If anyone's watching on browser, by the way, if you could let us know that extension is working, because we don't know. We have no idea. We just assume that it looks good and it's kind of on that side of your screen and it's showing all the stats and all that goodness. But for all we know, it could be telling us we're shit.
I've got a passive perception of 13.
Yeah, so on a 13, up front, you wouldn't be able to tell, really. You're more just kind of concentrating on towing Mercy across.
There's not really any effort. I'm just sort of thinking about life.
Okay, fair.
Just daydreaming.
Once you get to the middle, it's going to get a little bit more complicated. So, Mercy, don't roll yet, because it depends on how well Runt does to how you roll. Don't panic. So your eyes almost pop out your head. All will become clear. So can Kaya, Runt, and Gabriel make strength saving throws? Gabriel, make yours at advantage.
$16.
16.
18.
18.
21.
21, yeah. Okay, in that case, Mercy, you make a strength check, just straight roll. Strength save, straight roll.
Right.
If Runt did terribly badly, I would have made you roll at disadvantage, but he's Runt.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't. Mm-hmm.
+5 to my saving throws, so.
Yeah.
Same roll as before, even with the -1, 17.
Nice, yeah. So none of you have any problems. At this point, all of you are swimming rather than wading. But Gabriel, you're fine. You're doing the don't mess with the Zohan kind of. just circling around the party. Like, you sure you didn't want me to pull that rope?
He's basically Flipper.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah. I wish we had like enough fans for fan art, because all I want to see now is like Gavriel like flippering across the river.
One day, Luke. One day.
One day. Anyway, yeah, you do absolutely fine. Mercy, you're struggling a bit, but with the help of Run on the rest of the rope, whenever you think you're going to kind of slip and be taken by the current, the rope pulls taut and you're absolutely fine.
Well, I'm wet. Of course I'm uncomfortable.
It's fine. I was waiting for Kaya to make a comment.
No.
I was waiting for us.
No.
She's going to wait till later.
Because that was too obvious.
Okay, at this point, can all of you make a Constitution check for me?
A check, not a save.
A check, yeah. You're not in danger, but you're at the last leg of like the swim, and so just to make sure you're not like becoming tired by it and getting carried away.
15.
15, okay. Again,
18.
actually, yeah, Gabriel, you didn't even need to make one again because this is what you do. 18.
19.
19.
And an unnatural 20.
Hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of you are absolutely fine. You managed to get to a point where you can start wading through the river again rather than swimming. Kaya's doing okay now, and you all, without issue, make it to the other side of the river. So yeah, well done, guys.
Yay.
Looking ahead of you, can all of you roll for initiative? I'm kidding.
Oh.
Aw, pity.
No, you can see this side of the river is a lot more heavily wooded than the other side. So you are basically just like in the forest proper now as soon as you start walking inland. So yeah, so it depends which way you now want to go. Let me just see if I can... Hopefully this doesn't mess up what anyone on stream can see. Just you guys, but who cares? You are my puppet.
While people are trying to figure out which direction they're going, because that's not my vibe at all, I'm just going to check in with Mercy and check that she's not had any severe disease progression while we've been in the water.
Yeah, sure. Do some role play. That's good. Make a medicine check if you like.
Be careful, because rockfish are very dangerous.
I'm going to give you all a limit on these puns, and you can only use
13?
Oh, trust me, I'll be imposing the limit myself.
13. From what you can tell, it hasn't gotten any worse. Like, the water doesn't seem to have done anything to it. They still work mostly like fingers should work. It's just where it's affected the joints that you don't have that
flexibility.
Yeah. If the joints have become stone, the joints don't bend, but you don't seem to be any worse for being in the river with it. Or any better. Yeah, okay. There we go. So yeah, world map is up if all of you want to have a look at the screen, including our lovely audience. Yeah, so you kind of ended up just... like I say, just at the other side of the river, kind of almost level with the bottom of that second Vulcan mountain. And on the other side of the river, just north, is that forest proper. Like, you're in the forest now, but if you start to go up north, you'd be in there proper, and Lagina is kind of... it's almost exactly northwest of you right now.
Oh.
Cool. Well,
All right. Where's our destination, given that I was asleep?
So we need to head towards the forest if we want to investigate these bandits.
well, I mean, we're
It does
technically
depend
there.
on
We can
Mercy's
kind of...
condition, though, because if we head into the forest, we're not going to get any better medical treatment. If we head towards Lagina, we can probably look to get her examined.
Well, here's the thing. If we head into the forest, we might get at least a bead on what caused this. And maybe even if we can't fix it ourselves, we can at least relay the information. And maybe,
Yeah, that's possible.
Considering where we're going, they might be able to send someone.
They may have a better idea also as to, in general, what it is. As simple as that.
Technically, we can still kill however many birds with an appropriate boulder.
Well, the choice is up to you. It's you're the one who's in this condition, so we won't force you one way or the other. But if it starts accelerating quickly, I think we need to try and get to the city as quick as we can.
This is just another in an unending line of pain, Gabriel. So don't worry about me until I say so.
Well, I'm more worried about when you stop saying things.
Mercy,
Mm-hmm.
how are the other things that you may need help with? Sort of like generally.
Considering we've just gotten wet, I can't see it being an issue for now.
Let me know if you need a hand.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But no, seriously, let's do what we have to do, and if we can't fix the problem ourselves, we can at least have the relative information pass on to the proper people who can.
Okay. Well, just to give you guys maybe a little bit more info, if not more help. I'm assuming that as part of the Explorers pack in this world, it comes with a world map, because why wouldn't it? And it's just not as detailed with the villages and stuff. So if you look at where you are, or where you are at the moment, even if you're going to Lagina kind of as the crow flies, you would still be heading maybe a day or two in the forest anyway.
That makes sense.
It'd only be if you wanted to avoid the forest, where you'd kind of I'll do it this way because cam's reversed. So you'd kind of go south and up like that, which, depending on how well you traverse the forest, could take the same time, could take longer. So obviously, flat ground is going to be quicker, but you don't know how much quicker. It could slow you down by avoiding it if you had reason to. It completely depends on how you guys want to approach this.
I'm quite prepared to go through the forest, because why not?
The faster we get there, the better off we'll be.
Okay.
Sure, let's plough through the forest.
Okay. At this point, you've got maybe 2-3 hours till dusk. Well, more 2 hours till dusk. So you're not traveling for too long before nightfall hits. And it is a lot darker in the forest at the night time, so...
Or do we want to camp outside the forest now and then get an early start?
Yeah, that's probably best.
Okay. Weird. Okay, so are you guys making camp basically on the edge of the river there, on the river bank?
It'll give us time to dry off as well.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, you pitch up camp. Are you doing the usual kind of watches? Are you changing it up a bit now that Runt's here to decide whether he's going to do the watch or not?
I would very much like to skip a watch tonight, if that's possible.
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll do watch.
Runt, then Kaya.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. Mercy, are you taking part in your nightly activities at the moment?
Ooh.
Yes, you are.
Performance checks.
Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay, just because, as things are at the moment and the nature of it, I need you to make it at disadvantage.
Yep, fine.
Just because.
What am I doing?
Performance check at disadvantage.
Okay.
All made it unclear. Probably not.
Yeah. Do you mind if I still guidance myself for that?
Yeah, for this sort of thing, anything that takes up to an hour, you can guidance yourself. Anything that continues past that, you'd have to be doing it constantly. Yeah,
that's fine. Just wanted to make sure we're...
No problem at all. But yeah, feel free to comment what you guys think, because we've had a few rules that we're not sure about that may come up. But yeah, things like guidance, the way I play it is because it gives you a D4 on checks. Guidance is kind of like an instant cantrip. So if it's something if it's for stealthing through the forest for a day, guidance, I'd say you can't use it because you'd have to be constantly using guidance, even though it's the one check. Whereas if it was stealthing just through a building for like a couple of minutes, you're not doing it for as long, so guidance would help is kind of how I do it, but there's no real rule on that sort of thing in the book. So, interested to hear your guys' thoughts. So, what did you get on the check there?
That would be a big fat 4.
Yeah, you just...
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, you're really struggling, and it's just... Even when you are, hitting things as you should, it's still not coming out right because of, the texture of your fingers is different, you're pushing harder than you should be, you can't control, you're not as dexterous with your fingers as you should be, so, yeah, you kind of... It's not long before you just give up and try and get some sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so say it's Gabriel making first watch.
Yep.
Okay, perception check.
14.
Okay, you managed to stay up this time. No, you stayed up fine. You were just distracted by, the stars and things, if I remember. Yeah, nothing untoward seems to happen. You do notice, in the river, there are, slightly bigger things to kind of surface the water once or twice in the nighttime, maybe, nocturnal, aquatic hunters. You're not quite sure what, because, again, I haven't done the Google search. But, yeah, it's nothing that you're worried about. You don't seem to be in any danger, but it's quite fascinating. Stop looking at the stars.
There's a big spider.
Oh, okay.
Be back shortly fighting Shelob.
Oh, and he's actually... I was just gonna I was just gonna make his screen disappear, but no, he actually needs to leave to fight Shelob. That's fair.
Oh, Christ.
In the meantime, Russ, you're next, aren't you?
I am.
Do you want to make your perception check?
I can do. Which is not great, it's 15.
15 is, well, it's better than Gabriel's, yeah. Your watch seems to go pretty uneventfully. You don't notice anything. You hear noises that aren't really familiar to you because you haven't spent much time in the forest. Has he still got his sound on?
Probably.
Okay, I was going to say I can still hear him just fighting this thing.
It sounds like a fairly tremendous battle.
I'm just expecting the screen to come back on and Shelob's going to be there with some 8 D8s, one in each hand. We won't go into that too much because some people have obviously phobias, but yeah, I'm just expecting him to have been replaced.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Yeah, you notice some sounds you're not used to, so you're on edge for a little bit during your watch, but after a while you kind of realise that it's just the wildlife in the forest that you're not used to. Kaya, would you like to make your check?
Hopefully I'm not going to fall asleep this time.
Hopefully.
21.
21. Okay, yeah, you're on it. You've had your Red Bull. You're not going to let this happen again. Something... You don't get attacked or anything like that. But about 1, maybe 2 hours into your watch, you kind of get this feeling, you're not
of
alone. Of being watched. And you look around, and on a 21, just at that point where you think you imagined it or you're being paranoid, you kind of see a rustling up in the branches, and you look and you can't see anything, but you can kind of see this moment where the branches kind of lift and shake, almost as if you've just seen something leave a branch, but you didn't see what left the branch, but that's how it moved. As soon as you looked at it, it seemed to just... And then you hear some more rustling in the distance, and then it kind of fades into nothing. But you're super vigilant for the rest of your watch. You don't hear anything else. Okay. One last thing before you all wake up. Gabriel, if that is indeed your name.
Yes, I am not hundreds of spiders in a Ken suit.
Mercy, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
No.
I mean, you can choose to fail it, I guess.
Oh, God. Wish me luck.
I'm impartial.
Yeah, of course you are. 13.
Okay. You all wake up the next morning, and like start to eat and pack down camp and break that up. Mercy, you're kind of getting up and you seem fine. Like you check yourself over, and things seem to be fine. Like it hasn't grown, it hasn't gone away, like it hasn't receded or anything. But you're kind of getting dressed, and as you go to put on your boot, you can see that it's kind of on your feet. The stone has kind of spread to about halfway up your feet, rather than just the toes.
Okay.
Before you put your boots back on and get on with whatever you want to do next.
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, this is a long shot, but I've swapped spells during my sleep. I'm going to attempt a lesser rest.
Okay. You kind of focus that divine energy and you find that place of, I wouldn't say calm, because I don't know if Mercy's ever been calm, as long as she can remember. But that kind of zen. And you release that power and let it flow throughout, and nothing happens.
I thought as much. It was worth a try.
Okay. Yes, the day is yours. Feel free to discuss anything you want before or during the walk. If not, we'll just be making survival checks along the way.
That was the thing, watching us last night. Early this morning. Yeah, I didn't see it. Something. I'm not entirely certain what, but
on the floor, in
branches.
They were charming.
Humanoid?
Didn't see. Right. No, I'm pretty certain by now they're probably in Sparta. Probably making sort of something with these little figures of you. Sort of like just waves it in front of Ron's face and everything. It's like, look, isn't it awesome?
It doesn't look anything like me. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. They tried. Yeah, it's
the thought that counts.
Yeah. Small goblins, not overly dexterous. They clearly liked you enough, but yeah, no.
Just the one of these things, though. You didn't see multiple things.
No, I just heard noise, and then when I looked up, I saw a branch move. And it wasn't the more sort of like wind blowing a branch type thing. It was clearly something that had left the branch, was hiding up behind the branch. Yeah.
Well, if it didn't do anything while we were asleep, which something opportunistic would probably have done if it was predatory, I imagine it's just curious. So we're probably better off making a reasonable amount of noise going through so we don't startle her.
Indeed. And if we end up in a similar position tonight and the same thing happens, then whatever it is, be worth looking at then, rather than worrying about it right now. We have distance to cover in forest.
Yeah. And if we try and go quietly, we'll only slow ourselves down too much. I don't want to take longer than we absolutely have to.
Yeah, do not go gentle into that good forest.
All right. Should we head through then?
Yes.
Make a bit of noise as we're coming in so we don't startle anything by tripping over it.
Okay, in that case, Runt's the only one proficient, so I'm guessing he's the one you want to make the survival check.
And he will be guided.
Okay. Well, this will be a throughout the day thing, so guidance won't work on this. This is just to see.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, this will be how quickly you make it through the forest for the day.
Righty ho, let's have a go. that's not too bad. 21.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Above 20. He's back.
Yeah.
He's back, isn't he?
What?
But yeah, you make really good time. Like, you make it like quite deeply into the forest. You don't come across anything. There is a moment where like Runt stops, and you all kind of wonder what's going on. He kind of bends down, and he's seeing, like military. It probably would be actually because you're a military man. But you spot like fresh wolf tracks, and you get everyone to be quiet. On a 21. You don't like alert them or anything, but you do after a couple of minutes see like a couple of wolves kind of make their way through the bush ahead of you and start to just be like sniffing around. You don't know if they're tracking something. They didn't. Oh, we lost. We gained. There we go. Yeah, you didn't. They didn't come from the direction you had, so you don't think they're tracking you. They don't seem to be catching your scent right now, but they are kind of investigating. Maybe a few, like a dozen or so yards ahead of you.
Right. So they appear to be sort of sickly, like the ones we fought before, or?
Make a perception check.
Oh, God help me.
For anyone that wants to, you can also make a perception check if you'd like.
Is it an instant check? Because if he wants to, I can guide him.
Yeah, it's an instant check, this one, so feel free to guide him.
Consider yourself guided, Runty.
Oh.
I'm going to give it a go.
That'll be 17 then.
Okay.
22.
22, wow.
Go Kaya.
Nice. To be fair, both of you pretty much see the same thing. You study them, and even from the behavior, you can tell these are not like the wolves you thought. Like, they're acting more like regular, healthy wolves. You can see, like, they don't have any pock marks or like any of this ichor like around their muzzle or anything like that. Kaya, on a 21, what you do spot is kind of their behavior. While it's nothing like the wolves you did fight, they do seem to be spooked by, like, some of them have kind of not like pock marks or burns or anything like that, but they have like bite marks on their hindquarters. Like, one of them seems to be like walking with a bit of a gait, like maybe a bone that's kind of healed wrong, and so it doesn't quite move the same. And they do seem to be a bit more wary of where they've come from than they normally would on like some sort of hunt. Like, you're not completely sure because you're not big in, don't know the personality and habits of wolves, but you can definitely tell that they're being more cautious than predators normally would be.
Okay.
Unless you want to do anything beforehand, after a few minutes of them sniffing around, they do clear off back into the forest, like into the brush and out of sight after a few minutes without seeming to notice you.
In the direction that they came, or in a different direction?
No, so they came in from your left and then left to your right, and they passed through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
What way are we going? I wouldn't go left.
Well, at this
Do
point,
you not want to play with the dogs?
yeah, at this point, you guys were following the main path, which goes straight ahead. They kind of went across in the distance, like across the path, which is why Runt noticed them. Like, he saw some tracks and then saw them in the distance, kind of crossing across that clearing.
Okay.
Right. Should we keep going onwards then? Along the same path, or does anyone have any preference?
Yeah.
Not really. Path seems good to me, but I wouldn't trust me for directions.
Gabriel is the Luke of directions,
Oh, God help us.
I definitely keep our eyes in that sort of like
Yeah.
peeled to the
The right.
I'm
No,
just
to the
curious
left.
I'm just curious if whatever spooked them is related to whatever you may have spotted.
Theoretically, which is where I'm going. Whatever direction we go in, I'm going to keep my eyes in that one, the one that they came from.
Okay. In that case, as you're going ahead on a 21, I'm not going to make you make another survival check just yet. But Kaya, and this will be a long-term thing. Do you want to make a perception check just to keep your eye out?
14.
14. You don't see anything. Like, you don't see anything concrete. You're looking up in the trees. Every now and again, you like hear or think you might have spotted like a rustle, like a few like 30 or 40 feet behind you, but it's only there for a second, and you don't know whether it's your imagination or whether it's just like some animal or the wind, or you're just being paranoid or not.
The paranoia is very, very real at the moment.
Yeah. So you're not sure if it's the paranoia or an animal, or if there is something there that's tracking you or not. You can't really tell.
Yeah.
You're on edge. So
yes.
And at this point as well, it is quite, even though it's daytime and you do have the sun overhead, it is quite thick forest. So it is like quite dark compared to what you're used to. So there is kind of that atmosphere with it as well that feeds the paranoia. Okay. You guys, you make another like day's travel without issue. No more wildlife beyond like small like birds or the occasional like rodent or something like that.
Squirrels.
Bunny.
Not squirrels, no, because squirrels are like challenge rating 15 fucking monstrosities in my opinion. There's a story with that, but I'll tell it another time.
Oh, please do.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Why so serious?
They're nutty. Yeah, you make it to nighttime again. It's pretty much pitch black. Like, the moonlight doesn't really come through properly. You get like just what little light there is from the stars that are directly above you. So you think it'd probably be dangerous to keep going, but if you had any way of like lighting your way, or if you want to go extremely slowly, you could keep going if you wanted to make up more time. You think if you're going, like I say, if you're going as the crow flies, you think you've maybe got another day's travel before you reach the other side of the forest, because you're at kind of that point, so it's not a lot of travel across. Whereas in the main forest, it'd be a week or two of travel, but you're just at the edge of it still, even though it's quite thick. So
Well, we've kind of got more than halfway. We've hit the point of no return.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
Do we go a bit longer, or do we just park ours now?
I'm in favour of parking arse.
When aren't you in favour of parking arse?
It depends on
When
the arse.
already arse parked.
There. Okay, what are you doing in terms of watches tonight?
I think Mercy is exempt again, surely.
Yeah.
Right, who wants to take first watch?
I'll take the third again.
Yeah, we'll just do the
Same
order.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of you make perception checks for me, and we'll go around in order. This is a full nighttime one, so no guidance, sadly.
Oh, I'm asleep, so who
You're
cares?
asleep anyway. Are you even attempting your nightly performance check, or are you?
No, not tonight.
That's fair.
13.
13?
17.
17.
22.
22.
Whey!
Kaya is on fucking edge.
Like she's got something to make up for.
She saw Rafiki looking for Simba.
So, Gabriel, you don't notice anything. You're struggling. Are you... Who here actually has dark vision?
Not me.
So all of you on watch have a bit of a hard time because you don't have dark vision.
I'll tell you what.
It's fine for now.
I'll have listened. Well, I'll have cast light on a stick for them.
Well, that lasts an hour, I believe, doesn't it?
No idea.
Like, we've already made the rolls at this point. I think we're past that.
Plus, I assume you've like made some sort of campfire anyway, so it's not like it's complete darkness, and it doesn't affect the rolls. It was just more for flavour. I was asking.
No, it doesn't end, by the way, unless I tell it to.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, either a fire or light's fine. Like I said, it didn't affect like you making the roll at disadvantage or anything like that. It was more just for flavour. So yeah, Gabriel, you don't notice. Again, you kind of take note of what Kaya said, but this isn't your terrain at all. You don't notice anything untoward. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet night for you. Runt, you hear the occasional rustle in the trees and things like that, but when you like go and investigate and look closer, it does reveal itself just to be things like the occasional rabbit or like just carrion bird or any corvus bird or something like that. It's nothing. It doesn't turn out to be anything dangerous.
As long as it's not a squirrel, I don't care.
No fucking squirrels. Kaya, you are, like I say, you were on edge because, yeah, you've been like this all day. So to be fair, you're surprised you got to sleep to begin with. But yeah, you wake up and you're instantly awake and ready for your watch. And say about 3 hours in, you don't see anything up in the trees. It's not like a repeat performance, but you see like a rustling quite a bit ahead. And you can hear kind of like a small like wailing noise, almost like a little like sound of pain, I guess.
How close to?
It's about 20, 30 feet away from the party. So it's close, but it's like in the thicket, like out of sight.
I'm going to get a bit closer, probably about 15 foot from, so I'm like halfway between, and sort of like see if I can see anything.
Okay, you can make a perception check for me.
Here's where I roll terrible.
Possibly. And good evening, RPG Lad. Nice to see you.
16.
16. Okay, you can see there's something like moving on the ground in the thicket. It's low down, whatever it is, and it just seems to be like an occasional. Every time there's a movement, you hear that kind of sound of pain.
I'm not going to hurt you.
No response.
I'll move a bit closer.
Okay. Nothing happens. You can see once you get about 10 feet away, you can see it looks like you can see a small like mound of fur with something like sticking out.
I'm going to sort of, is it looking at me, whatever it is? Can I tell if it's looking at me?
No, you can't really tell.
Okay. Then I'm going to go up to it.
Okay.
And have a proper look and see what I can do to...
Okay. What you see as you walk through to the thicket, you're not like instantly attacked or anything like that. Or are you? No, you see what looks like a very wounded and dying rabbit or hare that's been pinned to the forest floor with like kind of quite a large arrow. Looks quite makeshift, the arrow, but it is longer than arrows you know, and there seems to be something wrapped around the close to the base of the arrow. Yeah,
the nock of the arrow.
That's the one, nerd. Thanks, man.
I know what I'm about.
What does the
fly?
thing...
That's what I'm thinking. The fly. Yeah.
What appears to be around there? Or is it?
It looks like fur or hair or something like that that's been tied to it. I mean, if you want to go and like grab any of it or touch it, you can like have a better look. But for now, it just looks like something like hair or fur or something similar that's been tied to the shaft of the arrow.
And it's pinned down to the floor.
Yeah, it's slowly, like it's not crying out in pain as much anymore as it's like reaching death, basically, this thing. This hare or rabbit, you're not quite sure.
I'm sorry, little one. And I'm going to slit its throat.
Damn, okay. Yeah, that's fine. And it's suffering like its breathing had slowed down a lot, so it doesn't make any sound. There's barely any breathing as you do so, but yeah, this thing's dead.
And I'm going to pull this arrow out.
Okay.
So I can take it back to have a proper look at it. And I'm just sort of, but I'm also going to take whatever it was back with me so it can breakfast.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, you head back to the camp. Make a perception check for me to get back to the camp.
$12.
Okay. Something's not right. It's not how you left it.
Is everyone there?
Everyone's there. They seem to be like breathing normally, snoring. Mainly runt snoring, not gonna lie.
Hey, I don't snore, I breathe heavily.
Mercy's still breathing.
Yep. You go over, you check everyone, and they seem fine. Like, undisturbed.
All my stuff's there?
Nope. You're sleeping, like your bedroll seems to have gone missing. You couldn't put your finger on it at first, but yeah, that seems to be the thing that's changed.
Is it just my bedroll that's gone?
It's just your bedroll. Like your pack's been left there, but your bedroll's missing.
There's always one joker out there somewhere. Normally it's me. I'm just sort of like going to sit down and sort of start fiddling with the with this arrow.
Okay.
And carry on keeping watch.
Yep. Make an investigation check for me as you're looking at this arrow.
15.
Okay. You're looking at it, and like I say, it's maybe twice the length of a regular arrow would be. You assume it's probably just made for a bigger bow, and that's why it's bigger. It doesn't seem to be specialized for anything. The tip of the arrow seems to be just made out of flint. Doesn't seem to be made out of any sort of metal. It looks very kind of easily made in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cytherian, for following. The fly of it just seems to be from like local bird feathers that you've seen. It's nothing exotic or anything like that. One thing, I mean, it doesn't take a 15 to spot this, but you have a look at the thing that's tied to it, and it's definitely hair. And it takes a brief second till you realise it's a lock of your hair that's been tied to it.
My hair?
Mm-hmm. And you kind of you reach back and you can definitely feel like towards the back of your hair where like a little bit's been cut.
I knew that there was something going on. And now I'm back to being completely twitchy and on edge for the rest of the night.
Okay. The rest of the night goes by. Nothing happens. But yeah, Dawn comes, and you all start to stir, and Kaya is kind of just sat next to what's left of the campfire, in the dirt, seeming very on edge.
Everything go okay?
Holds up the arrow. Does it look like it went okay?
Oh my.
We found a free arrow.
With my hair on it.
You got shot at?
No. Breakfast got shot at.
Why don't you tell a story from the beginning? That might make more sense.
Okay. So, heard a noise. Went and had a look. Breakfast that's, dying. Killed it. Had a massive arrow in it. This massive arrow. Came back. My bedroll's missing.
Oh.
You're fine.
Someone put a distraction outside the camp to make noise. That distraction then drew you away from camp when they came in and stole only your bedroll.
Only my bedroll, whilst at some point between, I don't know when, but some of my hair is missing and has ended up on this arrow.
So I presume they took some of your hair before they put the distraction there. So it's either during Runt's shift, my shift, or a previous night. So something's tracking us, and it's definitely trying to mess with you specifically.
Yes.
Maybe it's a gift. Maybe it's that's its way of saying this is specifically for you. And
even so, it's a creepy gift.
I'm going to go up to Run.
Coming from you, that's saying a lot, dear.
Would you like this as a gift? While sort of like shoving the pointy end of the arrow up in like near Runt's nose.
Tell you what, we've got like less than a day before we're on the other side of the forest anyway, right? Yeah?
What?
Yeah.
We have less than a day before we're out of the forest anyway. Let's just pack up and move quickly.
Yes.
Because if we're inside the forest, this thing can obviously sneak up and steal things from us quite happily. If we're outside the forest, at least we have better line of sight to everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Breakfast?
No thanks.
Yeah, I don't really fancy anything that was left there as part of a trap.
Yeah. Me.
I feel like it was a gift specifically for you, so you should eat it.
I think nobody should eat it. That seems like not a good idea when we have plenty of food.
Well, you wouldn't want to offend whatever it is that gave this lovely gift.
Oh no, someone that comes and steals hair from people when they're not aware, then
nabbed
shoots
my
a rabbit
bedroll.
outside the camp and has the hair tied. Yeah, no, I want to offend that thing. that thing can get really offensive.
I have no bedroll. It nabbed my bedroll. Of all things to steal.
It's all right. You can share mercies.
Yeah, you can take my bedroll. I'm not likely to get that cold anyway.
Thank you.
Let's just get out of this forest quickly. I don't want to be hanging around if there's some stalker out there.
Okay. Mercy.
Disadvantage.
No, it's your con save's just normal con save.
Oh, okay. Without lying, it's a natural 20. So
Okay.
22.
Okay.
22.
Yeah, while everyone's kind of panicking about this, you sneakily, like, you check everything and you, like, check your extremities and everything. Sadly, it hasn't gotten any better, but it hasn't gotten any worse from the previous night.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Okay. Yeah, so it hasn't spread any more than it had already. Okay, so what is the plan of action? Are you all packing up and yeeting it out of there as soon as possible?
It's not like I've got anything to pack.
Okay. Does one of you want to make the survival check for the day?
I suppose so. Let me go back to D&D Beyond, because I'm pretty sure it's 3, but I can't remember. Right. That's not too bad. That is 19.
19. Okay, you make good time, but you are all kind of spooked and rushing, so it's not surprising you make good time. You don't see anything. It takes about half a day in, and you get to like a fork in the road, which... All right, fuck you then, Runt. He's disappeared for those listening on podcast. I don't just hate him, although that is also part of it.
He just hates that Muppet stroke.
Yeah, you meet a fork in the road. From what you can tell, they both lead almost in the same direction. One seems to be darker and more like less used, like kind of less traveled, and the other one seems to be clear as day, but you can't.
Oh, it's the fork in the road from Beauty and the Beast. That
We all know how that went. Yeah. So which path?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the only beast here.
We've got a
That
saying,
you know of.
which is the left way is always right, so we should go right.
Wait, what?
We should go right because it's wrong, and we want to go wrong.
But if it's wrong, then why would we go right? I mean, surely we should go right because it's right, not right because it's wrong.
No, because if we go wrong, we get to the heart of the matter.
But then we get left behind.
But we don't want to
No
get to
one's
the heart of the
getting
matter.
left
We want to sort of like get out of this particular.
Right,
If you
all
haven't,
right,
if you
all
haven't
right, all
planned the
right.
whole session, just throw a fork in the road at the party. It's fine. No, it's not that. Although, top tip, you can do that. Also, if you're ever stuck, to keep the party busy for a bit, just throw a door with 3 locks on it and watch them go mad.
Let's go right.
Mercy, which way do you think we should go? Which way do you think we should go?
I don't know. The bright one looks way too bland and boring. I like the dark one.
While these people are taking a little bit of time, I believe there is a certain Greek goddess we all had visions from recently, with regards to forks in the road and turn points. This might be an opportune moment.
I didn't, so.
Sorry?
Mine had nothing fork orientated.
No, the goddess
She is
is
specifically
connected to
related.
Crossroads. So, going to offer up a brief prayer to Hecate, asking for some kind of a twinge into a direction we should go.
Okay.
And just whatever appears appropriate on opening my eyes again after doing a brief prayer.
That's fine. Make a religion check for me on that well thought out and very grovelly, not at all improvised prayer.
Not that grovelly. Oh, maybe it is. 13.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, you offer at the prayer and you sense something is going on while you kind of sat kind of contemplating. You kind of wait for that reply, as I also wait for... Oh, okay, she's online. Okay.
As if by magic.
Yeah, as you kind of are contemplating, you look at both paths, and as you look towards kind of there's a point where the more heavily wooded kind of thicket, the branches almost start to kind of separate and make slightly more of a path for a second.
I would go in that way, because I'm pretty sure that's the way that Hecate thinks I should go.
Was it the dark one?
Yes.
Yeah, well, there you go. I said it. So technically, yay me.
Yeah, but I'll listen to Hecate. Use kind of a coin flip.
Yeah, never listen to anyone stoned.
I was waiting for that one, like really easy one, but yeah.
Well, there's someone that's surprised to it.
Oh, jeez. If any of you can see chat right now, maybe don't look if you want to keep, like, not peeing yourself. Oh, geez.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, my.
Oh my.
Yeah, you head down. You're walking for an hour, maybe two. It's like it seems really like heavily wooded. And quite treacherous, and you think like there's no real path there at all. But then, like, as you're walking it, it's just you can traverse it quite easily. Like you're not actually having any issues there, like traversing it. It's almost like the path was almost looked a lot worse than it was. If any of you want to make an investigation check, if you want to just...
Yeah, go on then.
No chance.
Can I guide her?
Yeah. This is just to kind of hang on. This is a bit. What's going on? So, yeah.
Have a D4, dear.
Thank you ever so much. 18.
18, yeah. You stop and you look, and it looks like the way that this path kind of looks is almost man-made. Like something has specifically made it so this way looks a lot more treacherous than it is, like almost as a warning or to stop people choosing to go down this path. So they've made it look a lot less appealing to walk down than the other one. But when you're actually walking it, it's like there are clear footholds and paths and places you can walk as if it is like traversed quite regularly. So yeah.
Thank you.
I still don't like it, but I'll walk it.
Okay. So yeah, you walk for another couple of hours and eventually you reach kind of an opening in the thickets itself. Let's see if this works. Transition, damn you. Oh, that's a word. Yep. How do you get off studio mode? Stealing. There we are. When you reach, you come in, and there is a big clearing, and you reach what looks like a camp of some sort. Like an actual built woodland camp.
Nice.
I think we should definitely turn around and leave before our GM can finish setting this map up.
Right. It's just because I found a nice... it's probably because I found a nice...
Wooded
so
map.
I can give you visual aids rather than just... Which I've got cream for, don't worry.
So there's no like closed gate on it. There's just like an open front area.
It's open. It just looks like a makeshift camp. Like the walls themselves are all like they look like old cut down or fallen down trees that have been like stuck in the ground to make like a front entrance almost.
Can I just get up to the bit where the door would be if there was a door, and then just kind of yell nice and loudly and openly, "Is anyone in?"
Okay.
Don't want to alarm people while breaking into the houses. That would be really rude.
You call out and you wait a little bit. And you don't hear anything.
I guess we may as well have a look inside.
It'd be rude not to.
Okay, you guys, I take it you're very carefully heading inside to have a look.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Marching order? Why not, since we've got the minis?
Well, I have the big stick, so...
Stop bragging, bitch.
Yeah.
I can't help
It
it.
was a gift from Ares. Okay, I'm going to brag. That's just a given.
I guess it's me and run up front.
Okay.
I will very slowly bring up the rear.
Yes, dear.
Okay. Yeah, as you get past the gate, can actually see into the camp. You basically see what is here. You can see some like makeshift huts that are made out of like bent branches and leaves and things like that. There's a small stream running through it that's like, rather than a flat wooden platform, it looks like an old tree trunk has been wedged between to make a small path. You can see from this, you can see like fishing lines that have been stuck into the bank of the stream, and there's lines kind of hanging in the water. You don't see anyone there though.
Are they invisible?
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Okay, this isn't going well, is it? That'll be a 7.
7. You kind of say this out loud and look around, but you don't see anything. Like, you don't know how you check if things are invisible, but you don't think so.
Let's go check the structural integrity of that, what looks like bridge over the river.
Okay.
Stream.
Are you going on ahead, or are you just going in the same line, but that's what you want to look at?
I'm not really concerned about anything jumping out at this point, so I just wander off.
Okay, so you go and have a look. Yeah, it's structurally sound. Like, it is just a big, like, bit of a tree stump or tree trunk that's been wedged perfectly to size. And the stream still goes underneath it, but it's easy enough to walk across as long as you're not completely stupid about running across it. So it's like a slick log.
Is there much of a drop to the stream?
No, it's like the water itself kind of laps along the bottom of the log. It's not a deep stream, it's just like a small stream leading from a little waterfall up top.
Yeah, going to over there.
Okay, you're going to go over? That's fine. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll be following behind, but I'll go last. But as I cross over, I will quickly throw out the nose of the grave out of curiosity.
Okay. We'll get to that bit if you're going last. What about the other two?
I'm keeping my eye on absolutely everything around me because I am really now completely paranoid about everything.
That's fair. So are you staying where you are, or?
I'm going to move at sort of like slightly to the side of Mercy and go, you go investigate it if you want. I'm kind of a bit too nervy.
Well, I'm struggling to walk, so you can always have an excuse to just stay by me if you need to, dear.
I'm going to go check the fishing lines.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay, you go and check the fishing lines. Kaya, are you both kind of walking together and slowly making your way in?
I'll be very slow, working my way across while sort of looking around everything.
Okay.
The main thing I'm currently looking to see if there's like anything that looks vaguely arrow-like, as in like the one that I've currently.
Yeah. Okay. Since you've all got things you want to do now, can Runt make an investigation check?
Runt can indeed.
Gabriel, you make a perception check to see what you can see. You're generally looking. Mercy, if you've done your Eye of the Grave. Kaya, can you also make a perception check? Since you're you're looking for something specific, but you're not moving things around to look for it, so it's just perception. And then we'll kind of go from there.
Right.
So we'll go in like
1.
Okay, 1. Yeah, you don't see anything. Your eyes are moving. Ironically, your eyes are moving so fast, and you're so like skittish about what you can see that you don't really see anything at all. Gabriel.
16.
16. You're just looking around, and it does look like, to say it's slapdash and kind of put together, it doesn't look like a temporary camp. It looks quite well built and well established. Like, if you look along like the edges towards the rock up at the north there, you see that in there, they're not like deep caves from what you can see, but they look like bedding in there as well, and like small kind of dried out homes. One of them seems to have like meat and fish that are hanging up there to be smoked and dried. The hut at the end, again, is quite a big, like, you wouldn't know without going in because it is closed, but it looks like some sort of hall or like meeting point where several people would meet. You can't see anything up on the ledge. Just south of you, that is kind of a 20, 30 foot high ledge. Like, it's all encompassed by ledges, almost like to keep this place hidden, you assume. Like, it's a vantage point chosen, where they can station people up there if they want to look out, but also things aren't going to be able to kind of spot them from, like, far afield. Mercy, you do your Eye of the Grave, and you don't sense anything.
That's good, just making sure.
Yep, you don't sense anything. Is it just, what is it that you sense?
Just bear with. I will get you the exact wording. Just bear with. Yeah, it's basically just to sense any potential undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover or isn't protected by divination magic.
It's just undead. It's not like the fiend, celestial.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not like his divine sense. No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to check, just in case there was any like monsters or beasts or anything else that it might have checked, or like consecrated ground or anything like that. That's fair enough. Yeah, you sense nothing.
That's
Run.
okay.
Oops,
let's mark that off.
You go to look at the fishing line, and you're looking around, and you can see one of them seems to have maybe caught something. And you put your hand on it, you go to pull it up, and as you do so, an arrow flies from somewhere above and lands just in front of your hand. And it does look like an oversized kind of arrow that hits the floor as you do so.
So it looks very similar to the one that we had the other night.
Yes, as you do so, you all you hear that, because it you hear the and all of a sudden things start to kind of pop out. Weirdly enough, even though he couldn't check it all, it seems that Runt was on the mark. And you look around and you appear to be surrounded by, maybe not here, by creatures that kind of just almost fizzle and pop into existence.
Cool.
And pretty much all of them have either spears or longbows drawn and pointed at a member of your party.
Oh, delight.
And that's where we're going to go for a break.
Yay.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks for joining us so far, guys. We're going to take around a 10-minute break so we can get drinks, toilet breaks, all that jazz. Thank you for everyone so far that's watched, liked, subscribed, followed, all of that lovely goodness. As you can see, we actually have sub counter and follow counter now, so you can see how many people are watching and how many people have subbed to us so far. There is also, you may have seen kind of on this page and on the main page, the donation counter, I guess. So all of those lovely, amazing people that have donated to the stream, it now shows kind of what they donated as well. So we can say thank you every stream. We can say thank you by showing those that have donated. We'd be more than thankful if anyone did want to donate to us. It's never expected, but we are very thankful for anyone that does want to donate money or bits or gift any subs, or even if you have like a Twitch Prime sub or anything like that, we are more than grateful to keep those coming in. So thank you very much, everybody. Like I say, we are going to be on literally just 10 minutes. We'll have a timer up there as well. So please either stay with us or come back after the break to see how this ends up. Okay? And we'll see you soon.
It always gives me back everything.
Yeah.
Boom. You should be able to hear me properly now. Let me know if that isn't the case. Still some teething problems. We've moved over to Streamlabs OBS. And for anybody that does stream and can handle that, I highly recommend it because it is a really good program. It's got lots of things that help out streamers. Just make your life easier so you don't have to worry about a lot of the stuff on there, and it's got a lot of features on there. So yeah, it's really good for anyone that can run it, but I'm still getting used to it. So there is that, working out the teething problems on that. But yeah. Before we get back into the chaos, I just wanted to, say thank you again to Dynamic Dungeons. I'm part of their Patreon, so I get these amazing like video battle maps that you can see using at the minute. That come with like the sounds and the animations and everything, which is really
the flowing water is incredible.
Yeah, they've got the flowing water, the birds, there's some smoke, the trees are moving, and hopefully now that we're on a better system, you can see that a lot better as well. Also, I wanted to, again, because this is the second stream in a row now, the RPG Labs have kind of raided our stream, so thank you again. If you, either on social media or in afterwards, let me know when you're kind of streaming when we aren't. I'll try and make sure that we can host you as well and return the favour, because I'd like to see what you guys do as well. So yeah, let us know and we'll try and return the favour, because, helping out the community like you guys have, like I said, you've come and joined us a couple of times now, which is, thank you very much. So yeah, please get in touch and we will try and return the favour and maybe even collaborate at some point. Who knows?
Hell yeah.
Right. Very quick recap for those that may need it. You guys made your way through the forest relatively well. Made it across the river in less than 3 hours, which is great. You, throughout your journey, Kaya, more than anyone, noticed that you were being followed by something, possibly tracked, to the point where in the night her bedroll was stolen and some sort of message was left for her in the form of like quite a large arrow stuck into a rabbit or a deer with like a lock of her hair tied to it. You guys decided that the best course of action would be to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. Upon reaching a fork in the road, you went the path Hecate recommended, so thank you Iskariax for that. You made and found your way to this camp. It seemed abandoned, but used. It seemed like just no one was home. So you went and investigated. Runt, Mercy found no presence of undead. You couldn't really see much. Runt went to pick up one of the fishing rods that seemed to be by the stream that you can see here, and an arrow intercepted his path, at which point a large number of humanoid beings kind of appeared out of nowhere, weapons drawn and pointed at the party, which is where we last left off. I don't know what's across, but thank you. So that's where we last left off.
Her name, it ends as cross, not an X.
Oh, Iscaria Cross. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of brain fart, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so these things have their weapons drawn and are pointed at you guys. They don't seem to be saying anything, and they don't seem to be loosing any more arrows yet, but they are tracking you very closely. As you can see, Mercy and Kaya behind you seems to be this rather fair-looking creature. I can expand it a little bit for you. Here we are. Who is holding a very simple-looking short sword, almost literally to your back, Mercy. Can you all see that? Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want
I would
initiative,
hope
or?
we'd get dinner first.
No initiative yet. It depends how you guys handle this.
Okay. I just want to put Trident flat down on the ground.
Okay.
I'd do the same with the spear.
And then just kind of call out and say, "Hi, we did try to knock, but you haven't got a door."
Okay. You hear from... Let me just find said... Yeah. You hear from the top of one of the ledges quite a gruff voice. Yeah, Gabriel, you'll be able to see this from where you are. This fella.
Mm.
Okay, it just shouts out, "What are you doing here?"
We were actually looking for a way out, but we looked to follow some signs left to us by Hecate, and that brought us here. Which I can only assume means that we should be doing something here, presumably, I don't know, helping you with some of the issues in your area. You seem to be quite protective of the area itself.
We had laid out plenty of warning. What is this Hecate? Why does it bring you here?
Hecate is a deity, a god.
At the mention of God, all of the kind of bowstrings seem to pull back a little more, and like Mercy, you can feel like this sword kind of poke a little closer to you. You come here for God send you here.
Not so much. Just moved us here. We're not here to cause harm, but I believe one of your people, or at least somebody using the same weaponry as you, might have taken some of our belongings. One of our friends is missing their bedroll.
Rod, you kind of hear him like whisper, and then this other voice kind of chimes up. Again, you can see this guy. Yeah. That was I. What? We take no more than humans take from us. I gave you warning. I let you know you are not welcome here.
I think I might understand. As far as we know, there are humans in this area who are
all of them kind of
thieves.
like do this kind of hissing noise at the word human as well. It's like, do not speak that word to us.
Very well. There are thieves in this area. And I assume they have taken things from you.
Humans, the main one speaks up again that spoke to you before. The humans have taken from us for as long as we can remember. They have not taken anything recently. We are protected.
The humans local, we came here to look for things that were attacking caravans. I'm hoping that wasn't yourselves.
The pale folk, they crossed by close to here with their weapons and their caravans. We took what we needed, yes. We did not harm them until they attacked us. They wandered into our territory, as you have.
So they probably didn't know this was your territory. We didn't know this was your territory. Can you show me how far your territory expands out, and we can help keep the other humans away, and we could leave and stop people from encroaching on you?
Make ye either perception or deception check, because I'm not sure how genuine you are about that either. Don't even have to tell me which one. That could be more fun for everyone.
When you say perception, do you mean persuasion?
Persuasion, sorry, yeah. So either a persuasion or a deception check, depending on whether you mean that.
If I'm being genuine or not.
Yeah, but don't tell us. That's fine.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 1 on persuasion.
Ooh.
Or deception. It's like, you think us stupid, blue skin. You think we are going to let you out of here so you can bring more of your kind here to steal from us and kill us like prey. You will not leave here. Lay down your weapons.
I already have.
You have, and so has the bovine one.
Oi,
the
less the bovine.
The scornful one over there, what does she hold?
Well, if this one either puts hers away, I might let it's hanging off my hip. If you want to put it down, she gets rid of hers, or she buys me dinner.
And it's always good.
The sword kind of pokes a little closer to the point where you think you may have drawn a little bit of blood. Nothing like there, but so Lorifine, disarm them.
Oh,
and
bitch, please! I think that's pain.
This the one behind you kind of just reaches to your hip and goes to just remove Benedictus, and just.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Do you go to stop her?
Oh, I'm just giving her a very unveiled threat.
Okay. She takes it from back. She doesn't do anything. She just throws it a few feet away, and then stands back to like an offensive stance.
You think that's going to stop me?
Mercy, please be civil.
Behave.
She started it.
I will finish it if you don't behave yourself.
And we have just gone unannounced. Well, not unannounced. We did announce ourselves. We have come uninvited into their home.
They are completely in the right at the moment.
Yes.
You speak with scorn and forked tongues. I ask you again, what has brought you here?
We were looking to try to stop the hostilities. The humans that came past, they didn't realize they're coming through your land. Otherwise, they would have taken a different route. If we can find a way that they don't come into your lands are then yours, and they are able to do their business in their lands. That is all we want, because that way we don't have to have these conflicts. I'm sure, as well as their people having lost their lives, some of your people at some point have lost their lives, and that doesn't need to happen.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage, because it's similar to what you said before, but not. I'm being nice.
Oh, 16.
We have always been attacked by the pale skins. They have come here. We have kept ourselves safe for long, and now they start coming into our land again. They start coming into this land, and even the forest itself is corrupted by them. Beasts come, they attack our families, diseased, wrong creatures come at the same time as the pale skins. Your kind bring nothing but corruption to this land.
Oh, it's a different kind.
What
it's a different kind of
beast?
people to our people. At which point, I'm going to just rip off some of my cloth and say, "Is there something to do with this, by any chance?"
When they see that, the one beast kind of that's been up to you kind of takes a step back, and you can hear like muttered kind of shocked whispers and gasps between them. It's like, you have been tainted.
No
Yes.
shit.
We found these diseased creatures.
Yeah, we did.
We'd like to help with that problem. We don't want the creatures of the forest or the forest itself to be corrupted. And if we can find the humans responsible, we will deal with them in the places that you can't get to in the cities.
I just say you say this, and this again, you can see it, Gabriel. The rest of you, at this point, can pretty much just hear the voice from the other side of the ledge, just because of where you're positioned. Gabriel, this creature here, well, you can see, speaks up. There's like, Amos, if they have been tainted, then they are like us. We should speak to them, talk to them, find out what is happening, rather than just destroying them and being none the wiser. If we kill them, more may come to find them.
Yes, Amos, is it listen to him? That is a good idea.
You do not, speaks up again, it's like, you do not help your case. Please do not speak to us unless spoken to. We will deal with you. Please, Amos. We can decide what to do with them later, but if we kill them now, we bring nothing but danger to our home again. Give us time to figure out what these creatures actually want, then deal with them as you wish after. Amos kind of just waits for a good 20 to 30 seconds, just looking at mainly you, Gabriel. As you're the one that's he can see and is in the camp. Till finally he speaks up and you will stay here tonight. You will not leave this camp. You will be unarmed. You'll be watched. If anything happens, if I think that you will bring any sort of danger or mean any harm to my people, you will be killed on sight. Is that understood?
That is agreeable. Would you like us to drop the rest of our weapons now?
Slowly.
Okay, drop off the javelins and the lance.
Yeah, run takes about 5 minutes to disarm completely.
Like full on Aragorn in the hall scene where it's...
Yeah, like javelin, hand axe, dagger, great sword.
Yeah.
How many weapons does he have these days?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
What about you, Kaya? Mercy, do you...
I have one weapon and it's on the floor.
Okay. Kaya?
I go so far as to stick a cork on my unbroken horn.
Do you have a cork?
I put my rapier down.
Okay.
And then I basically stab that arrow that I've been carrying into the ground in front of me. Can I have my bedroll back now?
You get no response, just some scornful looks.
Kaya, you can have my bedroll. It's fine. I'll be okay for the night.
All of you, come to meet your diplomatic friend. Come where we can see you and judge you for what you really are.
Right, I strut over, making myself look as big and imposing as humanly possible.
Okay.
Or minotaurally possible. What's the correct adjective there?
Mercy, you go ahead in case something happens.
I'd rather stay with you. Let's go together.
I'll follow straight behind you. And at least that way, should you slip, I can grab you.
Fine. Okay.
Okay. You all make your way to the middle. As you do so, a few of them seem to still stay up there. Like, for example, the one with the bow and arrow that you've had encounters with before, Kaya. He stays up on the ledge, as do a few others. But a few of them kind of make their way, not quite. Well, yeah, surrounding you basically. Ooh, picked them all up there.
Ooh.
Into the center of the camp. And when they're all kind of in position, come on, they, what was his name? There we are. Oh, no. Into the center of camp and surround you. And then once they're all in position, then Amos makes his way down the ledge and comes straight up to you, Gabriel. Now that you're all closer, you can kind of see most of them at least and what they look like. So I'll give you a quick tour. So we have someone here that is kind of seems younger than a lot of them, like maybe teenager or young adult. Up close, you also have Amos, who you've seen before, and now the rest of you see. There is the gentleman that you saw before with the long hair that seemed to speak reason to Amos. Up on the ledge, you can just see another very, like, for whatever they are, like a beautiful, very kind of striking-looking creature. Up on the roof, not really being that sneaky, but seemed to be, is what looks like a young girl, kind of just arms crossed, sulking at you almost from the top of the roof. Who else we got? Out in the back again, almost like in the mouth of the cave, but sort of like slowly edging their way out as if they want to see what's going on, but they don't want to head too close, is a very small looking creature. Like maybe definitely a child. Who else have we got? There is a very lazy looking chap here who kind of just saunters in. Unlike the rest of them, he doesn't seem to see any like hostility or danger with you. You're not even, he kind of gives an air of like either he doesn't really know what's going on or he doesn't care. The main one you see, because he's the only creature there that's like bigger and heftier than Amos, who without a doubt is the leader of the tribe, is this guy. Like this big, burly, bearded creature who with like rosy cheeks and like like very worn kind of appearance, if he's like been working hard most of his life. For those of you that are paying attention to them and not kind of just staring them down, feel free to make an insight check for me.
Hmm.
6.
21.
21, okay.
20, not natural.
17.
17. Okay, all of you besides Gabriel. Thanks, Queenie. All of you besides Gabriel, you can tell, now that you can see them face to face, whilst they're putting on like a good kind of air and like of authority and hostility, most of them, besides like Amos and the worn fella up top and the archer, no, even the archer does, to be fair, you can tell that they're scared. Like they find all of you like very like quite terrifying that you're here. Kaya, on a 20, you notice that a lot of them, especially the children, seem to be more scared of you than anyone else.
Okay.
It's like, okay. Now, tell me again, what brought you here? No lies. Why were you in our forest to begin with?
We were looking for the caravans that went lost and what was causing the conflict in the area.
And
I now believe that's probably your group of people. However, I don't wish any harm upon you. I think I can see why these hostilities have come about.
And tell me, Blueskin, before you were here and did not have the upper hand and were not speaking with a silk tongue, once you found whatever you seem to be causing these hostilities, what did you plan to do?
If it was what I suspected it was, which I believed would be human bandits, I was going to put them to death. But I have reevaluated based on what I've seen of you and your people. I don't think you are anywhere near the kind of threat that human bandits could be.
Oh, we can be great threat, Blueskin.
I'm sure you can, but I'm not sure you want to be.
Do not lie to us. Do you think that we are no threat because of who you think we are? Or do you think we are no threat because to say otherwise may incur our violence?
I think you're just defending your territory. That's not threatening to people, as long as they abide by that territory. Whereas bandits don't have territory. Bandits have come and taken things from other people. But it's obvious that you and your people have been here for quite a while.
And we have taken things from others. What makes us different? Make an insight check for me, Gabriel.
6 again.
Okay. Yep. He's just confused. He wants... You come with your word, you say you mean no harm, and yet you also say that you mean to kill whatever did this. This is the problem with your kind. You come with the intention to kill before all else. This is why we hide. Tell me, if we were to let you go, right now, what would you do?
Well, I'd try and find whatever the source of this corruption is, which your people have discussed and is afflicting one of our members. Then I would try and get her out of here and healed. Preferably warn the people who'll be coming by that this area is not a safe place to come through and they should avoid it and move around it. They should not take armed guards because the threat here is too great for any armed guards, thereby hopefully scaring them off the idea.
Your intention, whether it be true or not, may seem admirable, but it is clear you have not lived as we have. If you were to tell, especially his kind, and they look at you, Runt, or hers, and look at you, Kaya, that the threat was too great, do you think that would really stop them from coming, or do you think it would give them some sense of challenge and glory and bring them all the more?
His kind? Nah, wouldn't work. Her kind? Yeah.
You see, this is our problem. Even if what you say is true and you wish to help, what you go and your actions would still lead to our demise. This is the problem we have, Blueskin, is that if we let you go now, whether it be for good or ill, danger will still come to us.
Danger is probably always going to come here. This whole land is full of danger. Best we can do is to prepare for it.
We will see. We will get to know the measure of you. You will sit with us. We will talk, and then we will decide in the morning. We will see if there is some way that this does not come to violence. But do not doubt me. If for a second I think that killing you all will bring more safety to my people than any other action, I will not flinch.
That's understandable.
Good. The one behind him kind of speaks to him again, just like, Amos, one of them is afflicted. Maybe we should help her. And why, Balar, should we help one of theirs? We fix them now. If we want to, we could have killed them whenever we want. We do not need them to suffer. We need them to be honest with us. Fine. Iagwin, come. Heal the scornful one of this. The rest of us, come, sit. I want to hear from the rest of you. We will talk. This, again, the striking one, kind of makes her way down to you, Mercy. She's quite short, like maybe a little bit shorter than you. Like all of these things, just to actually, all of you, if it isn't obvious by now, all of you make a nature check for me.
I've got a good guess, but yeah, for the sake of the game,
it's a low DC, but yeah.
Nature.
Make a what? Sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Nature. Oh, God help me.
13.
Do I still have inspiration?
You do.
Screw it. I'll stick with a 10.
Okay.
I also have 10.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Mercy definitely, but most of you kind of can guess this from
The pictures.
Yeah, and their abilities and things like that. These are furbolgs. Yeah, you've wandered across a camp of furbolgs. Mercy, the rest of you just go, oh, furbolgs. Makes sense. Mercy, you know that besides the two that, like the family that you met, if you remember the ones that gave you the lift straight out of Thebes?
Oh, thingy me bob. Yes.
Cletus?
Yeah, something like that.
Besides them, they don't, like, they were typical furbolgs. Like, even the reason there isn't a lot of them around is that even when they were in danger, they never resorted to violence, which is why there's so little of them around, because it was either hide or die. They wouldn't tend to make weapons or defend themselves. Like, most of them were vegetarian. They didn't even hunt animals. They may have fished, but they didn't even hunt. So this is odd behavior for furbolgs.
Okay.
But yeah, this one comes up to you. She's a little bit shorter than you and Runt. She's about the same height as you, Gabriel, because furbolgs are quite large creatures. They're about 6-7 foot usually. But she's quite short. She just comes up to you, like hands open, like palms upwards. Because if you would allow me, we have suffered from these afflictions for a few weeks now. We have developed ways to heal them. If you would let me, I would reverse what has been done to you the best I can.
And I will certainly find a way to repay this kindness if I survive.
Thank you. She kind of sits like on the floor cross-legged and like pulls your arms down to sit with her.
Oh, gee.
And starts to pull things out of like a small pack, like herbs and things. She gets like a pestle and mortar and starts to make like a paste with some herbs and like
yeah. Can I just like can I pay really close attention to this?
Yeah, you can do that. Make a medicine check as this is going on. As she starts to kind of take this paste and like lay it across some bandages and then wraps.
I lost you for a sec. Was that medicine? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and then she takes these like the soaked bandages and starts to wrap them around your hands.
Yeah. I'm guessing she'll spot the other bandages.
If they're up your arms, yeah. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're up your arms, yeah, she'll spot them.
Sorry, that's never happened. That's not happened in the same stream twice. Another natural 20.
Nice.
So 24.
Okay, 24. You're looking at these things, and there's a couple of the components, like a couple of the insects you don't recognize, but a lot of the herbs that are being used, you recognize and you know kind of where to find them, or at least where you could buy them. So you think with a little bit of hunting and looking around, you could probably replicate this if you needed to.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of you, while this is going on, some of the like furbolgs have started to disperse a little bit. Still very wary of you. And you kind of look and like one or two of them have kind of disappeared again. But Amos kind of sits down around not currently burning because it's still daytime, but around the campfire and gestures for you all to sit.
Oh, I'm going to gesture to the girl that my feet are also whatever and say, shall I take these off as well?
She just nods and then waits to see if you need help taking off your boots, but if not, she'll just wait.
I'll see what I can do with my weird polygonal fingers.
Well, they're all they're proper wrapped in bandages now as well, which is why she's waiting to assist you if you need.
Well, I'll give her a look that says, well, I'm kind of screwed here.
Yeah, it's like you've got chicken pox mittens on, basically. So, so she'll do that. Do the rest of you, do you sit or?
Well, I'm already sat, so.
Yeah.
I kneel.
Okay. That's fine. Gabriel?
Gabby!
He's dead. He's dead. Gabriel.
Is this picture frozen?
I think it has.
I think it has. I just thought it was like in thought, but I think he has, yeah. It did. He might have been making some really good points. I'll see what I can do. Since he's...
Manned out.
He is.
He was secretly afflicted and now he's petrified. Oh, what a...
Oh, there we go. He's left. I'm sure he'll be coming back in.
Hopefully.
Until then, I'm
Fingers crossed.
gonna go back to the main screen just so we can see. Well, as soon as the screen's fixed, we'll be able to see. So yeah, they sit you all around. It's like, okay. I have heard from the blue skin, and conveniently he is away in his own mind right now. The rest of you, tell me, what do you know of the beasts that have afflicted your friend?
Do you mind if I speak, seeing as I was the one that got screwed over? I see no objections. Okay, I'll begin.
No, go for it.
By all means.
Okay, so, as you may or may not have already noticed, I somehow became afflicted. We only became aware of their presence when they basically attacked us. We were making our way from city to another, but we had to make our way through this forest. We had no knowing of what we may find. As short one.
You may need to talk with your hands less. Your voice is going again.
Sorry.
That's okay.
As the short one may have already pointed out, we were in mind of hunting the bandits that had robbed a caravan that was carrying some of his friends. It was not necessarily a question of killing them, but at least dispensing justice or seeing them arrested. But with regards to the beasts themselves, we were attacked as we were traveling through the forest. We defended ourselves as best we could. As we basically damaged them, they were spraying their blood and saliva and this weird viscous fluid from their fangs and from the wounds that we were inflicting. And as it touched us, it caused us paralysis. And in my case, I suffered worse than everybody else. As we dispatched the last one, I took it upon myself as a practitioner of healing magics to try and ascertain what was wrong with them, because they did not reek of the stench of death, which is what my particular expertise is in. Whatever was coming from within them seemed to be some kind of either. I would hazard a guess and say some kind of unnatural corruption, possibly magical invasives. I cannot be sure because I am not that 100% sure. So, however, I do believe big, tall, and muscular has a tooth and part of a jaw, if you want to examine. So that is our only interaction with these beasts. We thought that while I was inflicted, we stood a chance of maybe finding the source of this corruption, and if we could deal with it directly, the place we are heading to may have resources that may help in counteracting.
Go on now.
Fuck my life!
Move your mic closer to your mouth.
It's one of those, it's a wire issue.
Not
yeah,
it's a wire issue. Does that help?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Helps a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you. One who speaks with varying pitch and gains. We have.
I just give him a casual raised eyebrow.
We have no love for the holy ones that you worship. They have never shown us any. We barely know their names. But we have encountered these things ourselves, and we have learned much from our magics. We ask because the wolves are not the only creature that afflicts these forests now. We have seen many creatures that have been changed, much like the wolf. That I do not know how none of us have seen this happen before. This is not something that has ever happened in this forest, but the wolves, for example, it is odd. From what we can tell, many of these beasts have not simply been changed, but have been, I do not know word, but mixed, and imbibed with abilities or features of other creatures. Most of these do not survive long. The wolves, we have seen them die in a matter of weeks from the venom that courses through them. We have seen similar creatures do the same, but there are some that still attack our villages at night. There are large bears with multiple heads. There are winged creatures that disappear in the light of day. Something has changed in this forest. We do not know what. At first, we blamed the pale skins, for it is often your kind, he looks at you, Kaya, that brings these things to our forest. They do not know how to leave things alone. They do not know how to respect the order of things. They listen to their deities that think because they have such power that they can mold things as they have, but we do not know what does this. From what we can tell, these wolves that you fought, for example, were changed in a way that they had the blood and the venom of the Hydra. We do not know how. Hydras have not ever, in living memory, been denizens of this forest, even when they were not a thing of myth. They are oceanic dwelling creatures, as much as we can tell. And yet there is no mistaking these creatures, these wolves, have the powers of the Hydra within them. At least until it kills them. That is what we have learned. That.
May I ask a question?
You may.
Have you ascertained any inkling as to how these changes are occurring? Whether it is man-made, or is there a magical leaning to it?
I do not know. We do not know much about what is made by the pale skins. We do not know their ways. Even Varric, who has learned to smith as the pale skins have, and he kind of gestures towards the big, jolly-looking one with that you saw before. But we do not know much about the pale skins' ways, but we know some forms of magic, and this is not that. If this is magic, it is some foul magic against nature. If it is something else, we see no marks of the pale skins upon them, no stitches, no devices upon them, but we do not know. We stay well away.
Do you wish to seek a solution to end the corruption?
Of course, we are of the forest. This is our home. The last thing we want is this corruption to affect our people.
And likewise, we do not wish the corruption to spread across the whole of Elysium. How about we assist you?
Are you offering to rid the corruption from this forest?
If we cannot personally do it, at least we can maybe find a way to find people that can at least assist you more than we can. It's certainly the least I can do for your offering to cure me. As I mentioned, the people I worship have a certain leaning towards the balance of life and death. And certainly we do not wish to see things distort those boundaries. And I would be very much shirking my own duties if I did not at least put forward my concerns and at least try and do something to help, at least in partial recompense payment for at least you curing me. I cannot speak for the others because we are individual. However, you're helping me.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Okay. $17.
17, okay. Kind of leans forward. I appreciate your offer, Scorned One. And it would be a great help to us, but my first responsibility is the protection of my people.
As you should.
Because of this, I cannot allow any others of your kind to become involved in this.
As far as I know, I'm the only one of my kind.
You know
I think you mean humans.
You know what I speak, Scorned One. Any of the pale skins or the others that build their brick houses upon the land, or your holy ones, we would accept your offer to rid the corruption from our forest, but we cannot and will not let you bring others here. Any more that come here would be nothing but a danger to this family. And so if you can rid the corruption from the forest, we would be eternally grateful for this, but you must do so alone. We will help you as we can, but it must be only those within this camp that do so. Do you understand?
I do.
Not even people that wander in can get involved. I told you, Blue Skin, only the people in this camp. Now she too cannot leave.
What's happening to that accent, mate?
I don't fucking know. It's a fine line between tribal and not going caricature, and when you try not to laugh, it goes very caricature.
was like,
It starts to drift into Jamaica at one point.
Yeah, I know. It's best subtle, but when you try not to burst out laughing because someone's just walked in on the stream, it's difficult.
Right, anyway.
If you can do this, then
Like I said, I cannot speak for the others, but it's the least I can do.
Killing an aquatic sea monster is not going to be a problem, even if it is actually a hydra.
we do not. You mishear us, Blueskin. We do not think that there is a hydra here. Many of these other creatures exhibit abilities of mythical beasts. We do not believe these beasts are here. We believe something is giving these creatures these abilities. We do not know what you will face, but I highly doubt you will face the hydra. If there was
I hate magic.
If there was such a beast in this forest, I doubt that we would not have seen it.
Do you suspect a pale skin or something humanoidish?
We always suspect the pale skin.
That was a silly
Experience has
question.
shown
Actually.
it is normally the pale skins that do so.
Then will you answer pale skin's questions? Simple ones, but pertinent nonetheless.
Proceed.
How far out from here have they been seen, these beasts which are afflicted? How far north do they go? How far east? How far south? How much further beyond your home have you seen them? Have they wandered?
We do not venture too far from our home anymore, since these things arrived.
And when did they arrive? When was the first time you saw them?
It has been maybe 3 weeks since the first sighting. Not long, but as far as we can tell, the deeper into the forest you go, the more of these creatures there are. We do not know if they go all the way north, but certainly there are more the further in. We have, until this previous week, we thought they were confined to the forest, but from hearing your stories, I believe they are now reaching further south as well. They are spreading.
Is it, sorry for interrupting again, is it your belief that if we destroy the source, everything that has been corrupted will eventually turn back, or is it a case of maybe having to eventually put to rest those who have been afflicted so that they do not spread a curse further themselves?
This we do not know. We do not know the source of the affliction. We do not know if it is one thing causing it or whether it is them infecting them others. We do not know what is causing this. We cannot answer that question.
Well, let me put it another way. What do you although you do not have any particular faith in a other being, what do you believe in your heart? Could be the what do you believe from what you have seen, from what you have learned? What do you feel is the source? What do you believe?
We believe that somehow the balance has been shifted. Whereas before all things were unequal and it kept things as they should be. Something has changed that, whether it be man-made or some curse upon the land. These creatures are changing in a way that nature should not allow them to change. Something has upset that balance. That is all I know. That is all I feel.
I understand.
You may speak.
I suppose we have to go rebalance it then.
That is what we hope. But not tonight. Tonight, we drink, we talk, we get to know what we can of each other whilst we are together. And we hope, and I do hope, that it does not end in blood. Remember what I said. First and foremost is my family.
And we will do what we can for your family.
Also, Ichthus will be kicked from stream for those terrible, terrible jokes.
Do it!
Come. Let us eat, drink, sing. For at least one night, let us be friends. What happens in the morrow is yet to come.
Right. I immediately look at the big guy and go, so, have you heard of arm wrestling?
Oh my god.
Maybe that's not the best way to make friends and influence people.
It's Ront's way. It's normal. It's Ront's way.
That doesn't make it
friends.
good.
It's normal for him.
That still doesn't make it good.
It works with the Viking, okay?
So, Varric.
Nor does stalking children, dear.
Varric, the big guy, as you so put it, comes up to you. Arm wrestling. That's one of the civilized sports, isn't it?
Civilized? Well, yes.
There are rules. There are ways to do things, aren't there?
There are.
Seems a little...
Wide.
Seems very pale skin to me.
Well, teach me one of your games then.
All right.
Oh shit, did you actually have something written out already?
Does a... hang on. Does a 19 hit your armor class?
I think a 19 does.
Okay. So this guy says, all right. Leans back and then just full-on headbutts you right in the face. You take plus 8 points of bludgeoning damage to the nut as he pulls back and just starts laughing his head off. Arms still folded, just waiting. Here we play headbutts.
I like it. Right, I return the favor.
Okay. If you're making a headbutt, then it's just like unarmed attack damage.
Cool. Well, I'm going to assume a 19 hits him as well, right?
Just.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, I think. Oh, you've got your kind of gore thingy, haven't you? I will let you do gore damage as bludgeoning. So what do you do for your gore damage?
Therein lies the question. 1d6 plus 3.
Okay, so
bludgeoning damage.
Okay, change that to a d4 for bludgeoning, and you can do that. Because it do more damage if you were stabbing him, but if you stab him, you might, it may cause a diplomatic incident.
Well, piercing damage. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Horn to the brain.
All right, so that's 3 plus 3, so 6 points of damage.
Okay, so it pulls back and just... You're not bad for a 2-leg. Hang on, what's round 2? Oh, yeah. Wham. Does it again? That's the same again. That's a... whatever I said before. I know I rolled the same on the dice. Hey, that's a 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, that's the same again. That is that's 5 damage. Bludgeoning damage to the noggin. As he just pulls back, you just hear the rest hear this almighty thwack. You can hear like this crunch, but you're not sure who it comes from, but you definitely hear a crunch.
All right. I laugh it off and hope for the best, and then yet again return the favor, because why the hell not? And you know what? I'm going to use that inspiration on this one.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm using the inspiration, because that was an 8 and nat 20.
Go for it.
You're kidding. Oh no.
So that is D4 again. Double the D4 or roll it twice?
Up to you. I normally go roll it twice. Just, yeah.
So that's 7 on the D4.
Okay, plus
3, so 10 points of damage.
Okay. So again, you hear a mighty thwack as their heads meet, and you swear you can feel like the shockwave coming off these two. And it pulls back, and Varric's got like blood trickles down his nose. It's already quite a bulbous nose, but it looks a little bit swollen. And he goes, "Hey, now you're getting it." Whack. Oh, that is a 20.
Ooh,
not natural. No, not natural.
Oh, thank God.
With modifier.
Thank God.
Although that is 8 damage to the noggin.
Jesus Christ.
Cool. Right. Yeah, again, I laugh. I like this game. This is a good game. I need to introduce this to the Spartan.
As your eyes are crossed, but yeah.
It's all right. They can't really cross. I mean, I've got
true. You got the snout.
Right. I have. And that is a 17.
Misses. So yeah, you go and do this again. You're like, I like this game. You go in, but you kind of go a little bit left. And as you do so, he stood there and he just kind of dodges out of the way, and you just stumble a bit, and you go up to do it again, and he just puts his hand up over your head. He's like, "That's my round, boy. Well done, though. It's not about power, it's about accuracy. You can have a round 2 later if you want, though."
I look forward to it. Cool. I go to class before I'm like a handshake.
Yeah, he does so. Basically, if you do want to introduce this to the Spartans while you're drinking around the campfire, he explains to you how the game actually works. Rather than arm wrestling, where it's like one-on-one or fighting, it's basically like slaps. Where you keep headbutting each other until either one of you falls unconscious or one of you misses. So yeah. Did you not get it?
I missed that.
Okay, so yeah, you basically play until either one of you falls unconscious or one of you misses and fails to hit. At which point it's assumed, because you don't really try and dodge, it's assumed that if you do miss, it's either because you weren't headbutting hard enough and you're too, you know, or you're too concussed and you can't aim right, so they end the game there, and then they usually pick it up again later. Normally, if there's time, this game, one way or another, will end up with one of you unconscious, but it's paced out.
That is my kind of game.
Thought it might be, but yeah, it is literally just called Headbutts.
How messed up is his face right now?
Whose?
Both of them.
Either.
Oh yeah, they're both like Varric. His nose is really swollen and quite, you know, he's got blood trickling down both nostrils. Runt,
Does it look broken? Does it look broken?
His doesn't. Runt does. It's kind of at a weird angle, and it is bleeding a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I'm
on 11 HP now, so
I will go up to Runt and I'll say, sit your big ass down for 2 seconds.
but I'm making friends.
Yes, but you look like a complete. Anyway, I'm literally gonna grab his nose, twist it back into alignment, and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Pain before pleasure.
Runt is very stoked, but you can see like a single tear dribble out from his left eye.
Is the other one injured?
Yeah, like I say, he's got a swollen, bloody nose. It's quite similar to, from the sounds of things, he wasn't as close to being unconscious as Runt was, though.
Have 10 hit points.
One good hit and I've had him.
Runty,
Yep.
take
I'm
10 hit points.
So as Mercy's doing that, I'm going to go to the other one and ask if I can help make him feel better and heal him and explain what I'm going to do.
Well, I thought we were going to have another round, but since your friend's getting fixed up, why not?
Okay, I'm going to lay on hands for, I guess, about 10.
Okay.
Well, I'll just forfeit the game by getting healed.
Let's forfeit. You'd already lost that round. It just means that, you know, you probably won't play again until you're more drunk. Like I say, technically the game was over, but most of the time the people that play that kind of game aren't happy just winning by miss. They want to play again until someone wins by unconsciousness. So yeah, technically the game was over anyway, but you know, the kind of people that play
you would have had round 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It would have been rematch until someone was unconscious.
I'm alright with that.
As you guys have been like doing this and night slowly started to fall, a lot of the furbolgs have kind of calmed down a little bit after seeing this. A few of them tensed up when Gavriel went towards Varric and put his hand on him, but seeing him kind of heal and then Varric like do this big belly laugh as you did so, they seem to be a lot more trusting of you. Like, still, none of them put their back to any of you, even throughout the whole night. You gather that these are just a very cautious people when it comes to outsiders, but they do seem a bit more trusting. Like, even a couple of the children like come up and want to kind of look at you like as these like weird new people until you like look at them, and then they'll kind of run off a little bit. And, like,
was one of the girls really, really sheepish?
There was 2 little girls. Let me bring up the battle screen for you so I can show you. By the way, Ken, are you aware that we can't see your beautiful face?
I'm aware that you can't currently see my camera, yes.
Okay, no problem.
Are you fighting Shelob again?
No.
Oh.
So there were 2 girls there. Let me just find the other one. There we are. So there was one really small one who looked like this.
Mm-hmm.
She was the sheepish one. You learn that her name is Miraris.
What?
Miraris. She is the daughter of Balar, who is the diplomatic guy. Yeah.
Cool.
You don't know who her mother is.
Okay, cool.
She gets quite quiet. Like, she gets quite quiet when you ask, but then again, she gets quite quiet when you ask her any question because stranger danger, stranger danger.
Cool.
The other girl, who is a little bit older, whereas like Miraris is maybe 4 or 5 of a push, and the other girl is maybe like 8 or 9, which is the grumpy-looking one. Who you like? Her name is Brybella, and she is Varric's daughter.
Was that Brybella? No.
Brybella. Brybella.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, and you learn.
Arblash. She's like a smaller version of me.
Basically, yeah, she's like. Yeah, she's Varric's daughter, so you can kind of see where she gets it from. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
Kaya,
Yes.
might I borrow the little runt voodoo doll?
Certainly. Here you go.
Thank you. I will. Yeah, I'm going to find Mararis. See where she is. Well, can I see her from where I am?
Yeah, like I say, she's staying around the camp, but every time like she gets brave, she soon rushes back to Balar and hides behind his legs.
I will. What should I do? I'd like to just in with the best attempt of a smile that I could possibly muster, I will try and coax her forward.
Make a persuasion check for me, just because it's you. It's you.
Yeah, I figured as much, mate. It's not a problem. 13.
13. You try your best. Like, she does start to like come towards you when you do the beckoning motion, and then you try and smile,
and it goes horribly wrong.
It goes horribly. It looks like more of an evil sneer, and she immediately runs behind her dad and doesn't come out from there for like until you move on. But you tried.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to literally hold the little effigy in by its feet, and I'm going to cast light on it.
She kind of hides again when she sees the light. Then again, she doesn't move towards it, but she can't like.
Well,
see her kind of edging out.
Well, what I'll do, I'm going to put it at arm's length, stand it up on like a little rock, and I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to just pretend to look away.
Okay, Balar's just watching this whole thing with like a very fatherly smile at it all. She kind of looks. She looks up at him, and he just looks down and shrugs at her with that smile at his face. And after about like a couple of minutes, she kind of edges out like a stop. She's a furbolg, so pretty much like a frightened deer.
Yeah, that's fine.
Touches it to make sure it's like not hot or gonna like explode or something, and then grabs it, does a quick nod at you in respect, and then runs back behind her father. All you can see is like Balar, and then this weird light coming from like around him where this little girl's behind him. It's moving, like the light just keeps shifting where she's obviously playing with this doll, but not wanting you to see her play with it, so you can just see the light moving back and forth from behind him, like casting weird shadows. Like, yeah.
I'm going to casually throw my hood all the way over my head so nobody can see me smile.
While all this is happening, sorry, Kai, did you want to do something as well?
Yeah, I was like, are they still avoiding me?
Like I say, they're not avoiding anybody. They're just wary of people now, but they are definitely most wary of you.
Then I'm going to find somewhere that I can just lean against, and I'm going to just start playing something.
Okay.
Doesn't really make a difference what. I'm just going to start playing something that's soothing and hopefully not overly offensive.
Improv slam poetry.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So hipster.
No, this is perfect, to be fair, from what I had planned. So it's almost like player actions are, just on point sometimes. 1 second.
Okay.
Are you calling us predictable, sir?
No, this wasn't predictable at all. It's like the stars have aligned more.
Oh no, Nostradamus. Oh
no, not that. Not the. So yeah, you start to play this song. Again, most people are ignoring you, but the laid back. Let me just bring up the battle screen again. the laid-back guy that, again, you weren't sure whether he didn't know what was going on or he just didn't care. But yeah, this guy whose name is Lutoris.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you learn pretty much all of their names through the course of the evening. He stands next to you, watches you play for a bit, and then he pulls out, like, they look like handbells. Do you know, like, you can get, not a tambourine, but like small, like, similar to that. It's like an animal skin stretched across it and there's bells. And he starts to just tap it and then he starts to sing. And the rest, everyone else kind of just stops and looks and just sits listening to, like, you play and him sing. And he just starts to sing like this soft, again, very tribal, very sad song. I'm not going to properly sing it because fuck that noise. I'm not that drunk yet. But yeah, some of the lines are like, young man came from hunting faint. Oh, brother dear, let my bed be made. Like that kind of feel to it, like very tribal, and it speaks of like two brothers going out hunting together and providing for the family. They're all very competitive. Like both of them would always try and one on each other and get the biggest prize, the biggest game. Until like one day they were out hunting and one of the brothers became competitive and got too overzealous and started to try to track down this boar, which ended up, as he tried to fight this thing and he got the upper hand, he slipped and fell out of one of the trees and was gored by the boar. And his brother was kind of never the same since. And the end of the song goes on to say that one day his brother kind of wandered off away from the tribe into the forest and wasn't seen again. But occasionally when a hunter goes out and is lost tracking prey, they'll hear kind of this similar tune to what he it's like it goes like they hear this song to guide them home to friends of fare and family higher than none. And it's kind of like a lesson of looking after your family and humility. And it kind of goes on into the night. And after that, whilst they're not like making fun conversation with you, they're respectful and they appreciate this. And it's kind of brings together this whole kind of coupling of two different kinds of people. And those kind of songs, they become happier. He sings a happier tune afterwards and people start dancing. And a few of them try and bring you up to dance, like all of you. And it just turns into quite a nice evening of revelry that goes on into like the early hours of the morning. And the next throughout the morning, at one point in the night, like Mercy, you take your hand wraps off and you notice like you can use your fingers again, like it's gone like that quickly. Your feet still feel a little stiff and your hands feel a little stiff, but the stone seems to have gone. And even you, like upon seeing that, kind of lose yourself a little bit to the atmosphere. And those of you that do sleep, even if it's so kind of a peaceful atmosphere here that even those of you that don't get to sleep or don't sleep much, you still feel rested and you still gain the benefits of a long rest just because of how the most peaceful you've been in a very long time. And whilst those things that plague you are still on your mind for like a few moments, especially during the song, they kind of disappear for a brief moment. And there's maybe just a second for all of you, but there is peace. And you see that is what this tribe is all about, really. And we're going to end it there for tonight.
Oh.
As you may have expected.
Ha.
Thought we'd end it on a lighter note rather than, Mercy turning to stone, Kyra almost dead. Visions of death and awfulness.
Yeah, but they're always so fun.
Yeah, I know,
It feels weird to end without a sense of impending doom.
I know, right? Yeah,
I know, it's like boring.
Which means we're going to get doubly screwed next session, I can guarantee.
Hopefully not.
Would I? Yeah, I would.
Yes.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you again, RPG Labs, for raiding us, I think twice there, which was great. Thanks to all our new followers. Like I say, if you get in touch with us over, like, I think Twitch does direct message. I don't know, I'm old. If not, look on our social media, there's links as well. Get in touch with us. And we'll try and find out when, we'll try and raid you sometime. And maybe even in the future, we can kind of collaborate in like a one shot or something. Who knows? The future's bright.
No, that's trademarked.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks to all our regular viewers, Ichthus, who is also GM, but he also tunes in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Queenie. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you again in a couple of weeks. Until then, thank you. And remember that the gods are watching. Good night.
Bye.